So here, what you're going to do is take down the shoulder measurement divided by 2, and 3 inches is a standard measurement. Then come down here by 1 inch. This is going to be the shoulder slope. Connect the shoulder slope. Then come down by armhole measurement divided by 2, and it's going to be the chest line or the bust line. So take down the shoulder measurement divided by 2 and connect the armholes. Take down the top length, the length of the top. The length of the top plus 1 inch hemming allowance. Connect it. So here place the bust measurement divided by 4. Also place the same bust measurement divided by 4 at the waist, at the top or the waist line, at the top length, and connect it down. It's a box top. For the front neckline, I want it to be a V-neck, so I came down by 10.5 inches, and for the neck width is 3.5 inches. So connect the neckline to create your V neckline. Then for the back neck depth, I want it to be 1.5 inches, and it's a circle neckline for the back. So I'll just connect it and create the neckline for the back. So at the shoulder here, I'll be extending it out by 2.5 inches. Connect the shoulder slopes and we create the armhole, the armhole. Try to curve it out a little bit and cut it out. You first cut out for the back.
So what I'll do now is after cutting out the pattern, I folded my fabric into 4, and here is both the center front and the center back. So this place is on fold. What I'll do is that I'll go ahead and cut out this my pattern. Here I'll be adding 1 inch because I didn't add any sewing allowance to the bust measurement, so I'll add 1 inch here. When I was taking down the top length, I added the 1 inch allowance that I want. I measured out 21 inches. What I wanted was 20 inches because it's a crop top. So I won't be adding any inches here, but I'll add 1 inch here, and I'll add about 0.25 inches here for joining the shoulders together. So this is it after cutting it out. Here I have about 0.5 inches here. My fabric wasn't enough for, if you are cutting out and you have enough fabric here, you should have at least 1 inch allowance here to form the casing for that strip of fabric for the drawstring. So but here I don't have enough fabric, so I left about 0.5 inches here, which will also be perfect for what I want to do. So what I will do next is that I will remove the back pattern, trim off the v-neck, trim off the v-neck. Now down to the sewing part. What I'll do first is that get a bias tape. If your fabric is enough, I recommend you make a bias tape using your fabric, and use a bias tape to finish the neckline, the armholes, and you do the same thing for this other back part. Finish the neckline and the armhole separately. Don't stitch down the shoulders before you do that. Just do it separately. Do the front arm, the front neck and armholes, then the back neck and armholes, and I will show you what next to do. So this is the back one. I managed to make a bias tape using my fabric, because this particular tutorial is I made use of a very little tiny pieces of fabric that I have lying around my sewing room. So I don't normally throw away pieces of fabric. I find a way to reuse them. So for this particular one, I made this top. So after using a bias tape to finish the neckline, I also finished the armholes as well. This is for the back. This is what I mean by I make use of the pieces of fabric that I have. Here I have a peach bias tape and I have brown here, but it doesn't matter, it's only inside. So this one is the front. So when they took our lights, so when the electricity is being restored, I will go ahead and iron this. It will make it to lay down very flat and neat. So here it is. I also made a little top stitch here to create this V here, and I also finished the armholes with the bias tape. So what I'll do next is that I'll place it like this, right side facing right side, like so. And remember, on this my pattern, I'm supposed to trim down this shoulder slope, but I did not trim it down. So what I'll be doing is that if I trim out this shoulder slope, I have about 1 inch here, and I already have about 0.5 inches here when I was cutting it out. So what I have is about 1.5 inches. So what you do next is that if there is electricity where you are, go ahead and overlock these edges. Go ahead and overlock the edges before you sew. But for me, I don't have electricity, and because this is my clothes and not a client's clothes, I'll go ahead and sew it without weaving it or overlocking it. So what I'll do is that I'll place the shoulder right side facing right side, mark out my half inch here, and here I will have about 1.5 inches down here. So I'll mark it as 1.5 inches, and I'll connect it together. So with the shoulders together, right side facing right side, I'll go ahead and sew here down. I'll be doing the same thing for this other side as well. So when I sew it down, I'll show you. And I cut about 2 inches 2 inches wide, like this, and I folded it into two, right side facing right side, and I sew it down. Then I turn it out to create this particular strip. This is going to serve for my drawstring or whatever it is called. I don't know. I'm sorry, pardon me for my English. I'm not that good in English, so but I will try my best to explain everything so that you can understand what I'm doing. So here I have two, one for the other sleeve and one for the other sleeve. So I'll join the shoulders together and I'll show you what next to do. So this is it after joining it together. So what I'll do now is that I'll go ahead and just stitch it down. This is the reason why I said you should overlock it before you sew, so that these edges will be nice and neat. But since I didn't overlock mine because I don't have electricity, I'll go ahead and sew it down and sew this one down as well. This is it. After stitching it down, I've also went ahead and shape out the top using 0.5 inches. Remember, I added 1 inch to the pattern. I left 0.5 inches for wearing ease, so I now shape it out with 0.5 inches. So what I'll do next is that I'll insert this strip of fabric to the case. I inserted a broomstick inside so that it will help me to pass it through. So start from here. Then insert it back in here. So that is it. I'll go ahead and do the same thing for this other side. So this is it. Go ahead and drag it the way you want and make it a tie. Do the same thing for this side. I made a little bow, a knot, I mean to say, here. If you have all these design hair beads, you can put them here before making this knot. So this is it. So the only thing left now to do on this particular one now is the hemming part. Fold the fabric, fold in the 1 inch. You can go ahead and iron it down before sewing. So just get it, fold in the 1 inch, get a half inch elastic. The measurement you're going to be working with is the waist measurement minus about 2 or 3 inches. If you want it to be very firm, you take away 3 inches, but I'll be taking away 2 inches on mine. So this is it, and I'll be cutting out 3 of these. When you fold your fabric the 1 inch inside, place the elastic on top of it like this and sew using a zigzag stitch. Drag a little or a big as you sew and sew it round. Then the rest too, what you are going to do is that when you folded your fabric the 1 inch inside and sew here, you go ahead and sew another one, a gap of half an inch, and you sew the third one, a gap of half an inch. Just 3 layers of that elastic, and the top is good to go. As at this particular point in time, we don't have electricity, so before I'll be doing this part, I'll wait for the electricity to be restored, and I'll do this one and I'll show you the final look. Or you can as well go ahead and wear yours like this if you don't want it to be gathered here. All you have to do is just fold it, your hem, just hem it down, and it's done, pretty done. So I will see you when I finish hemming mine and attaching the elastic to it. guys, this is the final look. This is the front. I've not ironed mine, they just restored the electricity, so I will wash mine, then I'll iron it. But it looks so cute. This is the back view, and the rope, as you can see, is so cute. So let me know if you're making yours. Don't forget to use the hashtag #MyMixWithSandra so that I can see your beautiful mix and repost them on Instagram. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, don't forget to hit the like button. Comment on this video. If you have any question that you want me to answer, just ask it on the comment section and I'll be glad and try my best to explain it to you in a detailed way that you can understand. So I will see you on my next video. Happy sewing!